Hi there, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Today we're going to take a quick look at this CURT MV weight distribution system with friction sway control. We're going to go over some of the features of this system and kind of compare it to some of the other weight distribution systems that we have available here at etrailer.com. So if you're not familiar with what a weight distribution system is, very basically this is going to install into the hitch receiver tube on your tow vehicle, and then it's going to connect to your trailer's frame. So rather than having just that one connection point between your trailer coupler and your hitch ball, which can oftentimes cause your tow vehicle to squat at the rear end, putting a lot of strain on your rear suspension, bringing your front end up, causing your steering to be kind of light, and all sorts of issues, and causing your trailer's nose to be pointing down. This is going to bring that nose up so that the weight is distributed across all the axles of your tow vehicle and your trailer, so it's going to be nice and level, giving you more stability and control. So basically all weight distribution systems work on the same principle. You've got your spring bars here that are held onto your trailer frame, and you've got connections at your head unit here, and those spring bars are going to flex to give you that lift that you need to level everything out. So the main differences between your different systems and different units there's really three different categories I would say you need to be focused on to make sure you're getting the right one for you. So the first is going to be your weight capacity. So different units are designed for different trailer weight capacities. The spring bars will flex differently for different weight capacities, so you want to make sure you're getting the right one for you. The second category is going to be your trailer height accommodation. So it's very important that your trailer is nice and level as you're towing. So our head unit here with most units can be adjusted so that you can accommodate that trailer height, but there are different heights for different models, so you want to make sure you're getting one that's going to allow you to keep your trailer nice and level. And then the third thing is going to be the sway control method. So most weight distribution systems on the market today do have some sort of sway control that allows you to help keep your trailer in line. So if a big gust of wind or a curvy road or something like that, it's not going to push your trailer way out of line. It's going to help keep it centered there behind your vehicle. So there's a few different ways of achieving that. This system uses this friction style sway control. I'll go into some of the differences between that and other units here at the end of this video. But right up front, I do want to tell you that this system is not going to be compatible with your surge brakes. Your surge actuator is not going to be able to telescope in and out with this system installed. So if you do have surge brakes on your trailer, I would recommend going with a different system. So to begin, we'll talk about the weight capacity. So your tongue weight is really going to be the most important weight for you to be focused on. So once you have your trailer all loaded up and your tow vehicle, you want to see where your trailer's tongue weight is and any weight that's behind the rear axle on your tow vehicle. You combine those two numbers and it's going to give you your tongue weight. So you want to make sure that fits within the range here. This is going to have a range of 1,000 pounds up to 1,400 pounds. So you don't want anything less than that 1,000 pounds because then the system's going to be too rigid. Anything more than that 1,400 pounds, it's not going to support it enough. And then our gross towing weight, the weight of the trailer plus the load included that we're pulling, this has a max towing capacity of 14,000 pounds. This will slide right into your 2-inch by 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on your tow vehicle. You do want to make sure that your hitch is rated for use with weight distribution. Not all of them are. And of course, your whole setup is only as strong as the weakest component. So you want to make sure you're not going to be overtaxing your hitch. You can see we do have a standard pin and clip here to hold this in our hitch. We do also sell locking pins separately. So if you wanted to add a little extra security there, you could. And then we have our shank here that's going to give us our height adjustment. So you can see I have this in the drop position, and our head unit is mounted at the lowest position on that shank. So we measure our rise and drop from the top inside edge of your receiver tube, or the top of our shank here, down to our ball platform, or about where your coupler is going to sit. So you can see we're not going to have a huge drop here. It's going to give us a 2.5-inch drop. So if your coupler sits about 2.5 inches lower than the top edge of your receiver, this will work for you. But we can also flip this over and use it in the rise position if we had our head mounted at the highest point there, it would give us a max rise of 6 inches. So if your coupler sits 6 inches higher than your receiver tube, that will work for you. And then of course, these holes are spaced 1.25 inches apart, center on center, so you'll have lots of incremental adjustments in between those two extremes. They do include the 2 5/16 inch hitch ball. Not all systems do, so that's nice. One less thing that you have to worry about purchasing separately and getting installed and torqued down. So that is included. With most weight distribution systems, there is going to be some tilting required in the head unit. So the tilt is part of the weight distribution equilibrium kind of setup. So to achieve that tilt, this system uses stacked washers. So when you're getting it set up, you want to make sure that you're getting the right number of washers put on there, and then this pin kind of sits in the back side of your head unit and pushes up against your shank here. So if you're just going to be setting this up one time, it's probably not going to be a big deal stacking those washers. You might have to take the shank off a few times to figure out if you need to add more washers, remove washers, that sort of thing. But if you're going to be doing that quite frequently, if you're going to be switching your trailer out using the same system with multiple trailers or towing with different vehicles, and you need to adjust that tilt, and that might be kind of inconvenient, having to add more washers, take washers off, that sort of thing. My personal preference is the Blue Ox Sway Pro. It's got the tilt built into the head unit already, so you're not going to have to worry about washers like that. But of course, with more advanced features, you get higher cost and that sort of thing. So make sure you're getting a system that's going to meet all your needs, including your price point. So our head unit here is going to be where our spring bars attach. You can see we've got a little snap-in pin here that's going to hold those in place. That's not really my favorite style. I've seen other systems that have like a through hole and just a simple pin and clip that hold the spring bars in place. I like those a little bit better because it gives you more reassurance that it is connected. This system, it kind of have to jiggle it up, and it's not real clear if it's connected. Of course, you can push down on it once it's installed. I obviously don't have one installed, so it's probably a little more difficult for me than it would be for you. But this will connect here. You can see we do have the grease zerk built in, so very easy to hook up your grease gun, pump some grease in there, make sure everything is well lubricated. Our spring bars are a round forged steel design, so they are going to hold up well for us, give us that appropriate flex and support that we need. These spring bars are going to be attached to our trailer with these no-drill clamp-on lift brackets. So these are going to mount onto your trailer, just kind of, you see the bolt on the backside there that just tightens down against your trailer frame to hold it tight. And then we've got the chain on the spring bars that will hook in place. Use our lift bars here to lift it up in place. Now you will have lots of adjustment capabilities by determining which link you need. So you can fine tune how tight those spring bars are, but that's going to lift those spring bars up onto our bracket to give them the rigidity that they need. Using chains to hold our spring bars to our frame is a pretty traditional design. The downside with your chains is that they are pretty mobile, so you're not going to get a very rigid system, which then comes into play for your sway control. And so that's why they use a separate system here that has the friction sway control. So this is a separate unit that will attach to the ball on your head unit here, the smaller ball, not the 2 5/16 inch ball. They include the clips to get it mounted in place and held firm. So this is going to have adjustable tension so that you can set the perfect amount for a nice control and resistance. The built-in lever will engage and disengage the system, as you can see, like so. So you can get it set to where you need it. And then it is very easy to remove. Just pull the pin on that side, pull the pin that connects it to this ball over here. So this bracket is going to need to be mounted onto your trailer's frame. So you will have to drill some holes to get that mounted. They do include the hardware there to get this installed, but very simple to attach with the clip there onto that ball. So as I said, one of the downsides to this design is that it's not compatible with your surge brakes. They also recommend disengaging this if you're going to be backing up or towing on slippery roads, such as wet or icy, gravel, snow-covered roads, and that sort of thing. So other systems on the market have a different style of sway control. There's some that use an L bracket to hold the spring bar up in place. So those L brackets mount onto your trailer frame, and then you get the bar up onto the platform there. And then that's steel on steel friction, so it's going to give you a nice rigid system, unlike with your chains. So that helps hold your trailer in line. Again, my personal preference is the Blue Ox Sway Pro. They do use chains. So one of the downsides of that steel on steel friction is that it's going to be pretty noisy. So with your chains, you don't have to worry about that noise. But the Blue Ox Sway Pro has a channel for your chains, so it's going to eliminate the noise of steel on steel, and it's also going to give you a more rigid system, so you don't have to worry about the movement of the chains. But again, more advanced features, higher price point, that sort of thing. So this system is going to do a really good job for you. It's very affordable. It's still high quality materials, black powder coat finish. So it's going to be very durable and corrosion resistant for you. They do include instructions to help you get everything set up properly so that you can rest assured that it's all going to be installed the way it needs to be and fine-tuned for your setup. So again, if you're looking at the 3 categories, your weight capacity, you want to make sure that this is going to work for your trailer's weight capacity, specifically that tongue weight, the height, trailer height accommodation, that 2.5-inch drop or 6-inch rise, make sure that works for you. And then the sway control method, as long as you don't have a surge actuator, I think this will do a good job for you. There are some other systems that are a little bit more advanced, but I think this will still do a good job for you, especially if the price is your main concern. So that completes our look for today. Again, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Thanks for watching.